Tones, we can't even get a good connection with this guy. Now Douglas leapfrogging Tones here with the Doom.
Instantly coming for his spot.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Coming in hot. Well, there's no limit to how many people we can have on. We can have on just, we'll make it our own personal power rankings, right? And sort out top five spots, right? Simon, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Nothing, man. How are you doing?
So I'll be honest, this DVP pod thing, we don't really do like normal intros. We don't really say we don't introduce anyone. We just kind of just talk. So I don't know if that's weird if we're just talking and then all of a sudden there's a new voice without us introducing. But this is the man, the myth, the legend that is Simon, who, like the rest of us, come from a place that we don't really talk about on here, but happy to be here and discuss whatever foolishness comes to brains.
The only thing that I can really intro Simon as being is like a guy who comes with some pretty hot takes.
Hold on, this coming from Webster? Is that a thing?
Well, when we were all working together at this nameless institution, Douglas and I would have some, and they've been recorded.
Yeah, we got some dragouts.
Some pretty good debates.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting you to keep Webby in. Just keep him on track here. Reel him in when he's going off the rails. Jeez. Instantly cut him off as soon as he starts talking about anything.
Wait, what was the argument you guys got into? Like, what was the video again? It
was a big Bryce Harper argument. It was at this point, Andrew Webster was vehemently anti-Bryce Harper. I'm assuming that his song has changed.
It's foggy. I don't really remember. I remember always enjoying the athletic exploits of Bryce Harper, and just now that he's been doing it for our team and hitting one of the biggest home runs in franchise history,
in Fightin's history,
to basically send us to the World Series where we got smoked, but great home run by a great baseball player. I'll say that about Bryce.
Always
Harper.
Loved him. Yeah,
always.
A bit of a clown though.
This was like when Papelbon was yelling at him for not running to first, because you got to bust it. You got to bust it every time.
I think my whole position was that I was on the side of Papelbon because, listen, you're a professional athlete. You get down the line.
And we are professionals.
If you got to choke somebody out, you got to choke somebody out.
That was really insane. Like when you really think back to that, like that is very like the insanity of a player choking out his teammate in the middle of the game for not trying hard is just incredible theater.
So right now I like to talk about like what's popping up on my TikTok, because I'm a heavy TikTok user. And so on my For You page right now, it's a lot of like wildest moments in baseball, like craziest ejections and wild, like most disrespectful moments. That's getting a lot of play on my For You page. And then there's also this Australian guy who does these quick TikToks about World War II history.
Oh, perfect.
And those are the two that are going heavy right now.
Perfect. The algorithm is just floating Aussie World War II takes.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
It's great. We're learning a lot on the FYP.
Wow, Webster. Simon, where do you stand on the whole TikTok thing? Are you into TikTok? Do you have a TikTok account?
Yeah, I'm so bad at all social media at this point. Like I'm rapidly becoming old, but like every day I age a year or two. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what the youths are even talking about anymore. It's terrible.
Yeah. TikTok I can't do. It's one step too far for me. I'm barely hanging on to Instagram, but TikTok
the only TikToks I see are when like videos get cross posted on X.
You're still.
I refuse to call it X. I'm not doing it.
I'm like Des Bryant.
Big break for Des, right? Big break for Des. Comeback season for Des Bryant.
Did you see them put that big flashing X on the side of the building? And the guy from across the street was like, "This is my life now." And all I thought was Kenny Rogers Chicken from Seinfeld.
Yes. Yes. So good. Question for you guys. I want to start here because it was a big fight weekend. I don't know how big you guys might be into UFC or boxing, but I feel like we like to talk about events. and there's some events going on, because I know there's normal summertime, the normal sports we might be into aren't really there, but there's events going on. Do you care at all about any of the events that happened over the weekend in terms of the UFC or the big fight between Spence and Crawford?
I think the problem is with the UFC in particular is that, like, when they started doing, events every week or every 2 weeks, it lost luster on me. So
Agreed.
like all I saw was Herb Dean, the referee, throwing an elbow at a guy when he was already on the ground. Like, that was it. I didn't even know who was fighting, what the backstories were. And I know we're going to get to it, but that's where, as bad as it is, Jake Paul has flipped that script. And love him or hate him, at least I know who he's fighting and I hear about it.
I think I agree with you in terms of UFC almost like oversaturating itself, right? Like there's just too much, and every single week there's a fight. So I don't know what's a big fight and what's not a big fight. But that boxing match on Saturday was actually legit, but for the wrong reasons, if that makes sense. Like it's almost highlighting why boxing sucks, because the top guys always duck each other. So now that you actually had two undefeated guys going toe to toe, still in their primes, like it was a really legit big time fight, but also did a good job of hitting the social medias with things like Eminem. Like imagine like how dope is that moment? Your entrance being Eminem performing Lose Yourself, right? Like that is just so incredible. And I don't know if you saw this, but the way that happened, Bud Crawford went online and he tweeted out, "Hey, who should I get to do my intro, or what should my intro music be?" And Eminem responded to him and said, "Hey, you're actually one of my favorite fighters. I'd love to do it for you." Like that's right sick. There. I'm like, I know where my money's going. We're rolling deep with Crawford here.
The guy who had Eminem come out to the ring, white guy or black guy?
Two black guys fought, Webster.
Nice. So he had Eminem. He had Eminem.
Hold on. What? Hold on. Black guys don't like Eminem.
No,
What's happening here?
No. But I just thought that's a white guy move.
It does seem like a white guy move. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I mean,
we were talking about like the newsroom arguments before. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest I remember is Webby saying Eminem wasn't a top 5 rapper
vehemently in the anti-Eminem anti-Eminem camp.
I'm not a massive Eminem fan.
No. I again, wild swing of the pendulum to like not top 5, mid. Like, true. Let's not get crazy. I don't have him in my top 5, but I wouldn't say that he's mid.
Nah, stick to your guns, Webby. Come on.
Yeah, don't back down now. No, what was the wildest Webby take? The Giannis is trash. That was a big one.
Oh yeah, I pulled receipts on that one.
I kind of reeled that one back a couple of years ago. When you put up 50 in a deciding NBA championship game, I gotta kind of reassess.
I brought up the boxing just because it's a hilarious story. So I know I talked about it last week. I got a gambling group text with a bunch of buddies who, I'll say this politely, make a lot more money than I do. Yeah. So they're out here doing whatever. And so I like to sprinkle a little bit of information in there. One of my good friends, he's a trainer. And so we have a mutual friend that's in the gambling group text that always says, "Hey, make sure you reach out and ask like who he thinks about the fight on Saturday." So I'm like, perfect. I'm going to be with him. We're going to watch the fight together. No problem. So I send in the gambling group text at maybe 6 o'clock, like early, like, "Hey, D-Max says, got to go at Crawford. Crawford's a move here. Also says sprinkle on the 9th round ending of the fight, which is at plus 2,200. So I put that in the group text. No response. So I reach out to one of my buddies directly. I'm like, "Hey, you probably got it on silent, but I'm just letting you know, make sure you get these bets in. Go to Crawford and hit him on the 9th round." So buddy responds back. He says, "I was really going to be on Spence, but you know what? I'm going to switch it up. I'm riding with you guys. Let's go." So fast forward, we're at my friend's house and the fight's on, but we're kind of paying attention, but not really, because it was his girlfriend's birthday. So there's like music on, people are talking, it's on in the background. I'm locked in though. I'm watching because there's some sprinkles going on, right? Yeah. So we're into the 9th round. So I'm extra locked in at this point. And Crawford is already like, he's been dummying him. But now we get to the 9th round. So I'm kind of like, okay, time to focus in, time to lock in. So my phone FaceTime goes off. And I look at my phone. I'm like, why is my boy FaceTiming me right now? So I pick it up, but I can't hear him because it's super loud. And I just see a big smile on his face. And I look up at the TV and there's like nothing happening. So I'm confused. And then it registers in my head, oh shit, we're watching on a stream. We're like 1 minute behind. What's going to happen? And I look up and Crawford just like cooking them like combo. And I stand up in the middle of this party. I'm like, oh shit. Yo, look, it's happening. And then the fight's over and we're all like screaming. We're like high-fiving. The jam is jumping. Music's turned up. My boy's on the FaceTime. We're like, look. And we're just like, cheer. Oh, it was a great Saturday night. And then, yeah, the party continued late into Sunday morning,
early morning.
But yeah, no, it was good time had by all. And to hit on the 9th round is an insane,
crazy.
Like I've never done that before. That's like a huge, just plus 2,200. That's like a random.
So did your guy say why the 9th round? Was he just like...
He just said that because he thought Crawford was a more experienced fighter. And so even though Spence was still really good, he thought it would go far, but eventually Crawford would just figure him out and he would get him and
put him
it'd
down.
be in the 9th round.
Cool. Nice.
It was insane.
Big
Absolutely
win.
Insane. Huge win. Great Saturday night. But you mentioned the Diaz, Jake Paul. Does that cross over into mainstream now where everyone's going to be watching that fight? Or Simon, are you still like, whatever?
I mean, yeah, like I'll watch the sideshow that is Jake Paul, honestly. Like I'm in on all that stuff. Like my favorite fight as a staunch Love Island UK fan, that Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight. I couldn't have been cheering for Tommy Fury more. Yeah. My boy stood up for the Love Island franchise and did it for all of us. I mean, yeah, I'll watch it. Like my favorite thing about, like, how deep are you guys into the Sweet Science? Like, are you guys like deep fans?
I'm not, I can't say that I'm a deep fan. I'll tune
like
into big
punch
fights.
each other in the face. That's my favorite part.
My favorite tradition of boxing is like, I don't know anything about it. Like I'll watch it and I like it. And so like the first round ends and I'm like, okay, cool. But by the 3rd round, I'm like, oh man, those body blows are going to wear him down. Like I'm giving strategy. Like I know what the hell is going on. It's the best.
It's the Olympics corollary.
Oh yeah. I turn into an expert every time by the 3rd round.
It's like if you ever needed some bobsled takes, come to me during the Winter Olympics because I've been watching the heats. I know which countries, I know the strategies. Yeah, no, that's the best part about boxing or really any sport that you're really not that invested in.
Yeah.
Like cricket. Like the Ashes were going on the other week and I was getting really into it. Like, fuck Australia. Like, let's get England on the go. It's coming home, lads. And it's like, oh yeah, he really got the wicket with that one.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I think that the big 4 sports, especially us that have like watch so many games and consume so much content around it, it just floods your brain. And at some point it's like you can't fit any more in there. But when you're learning a new sport, you have all these unexplored takes of like what you need to get it done. I love it. It's the best.
Well, I was totally that guy on Saturday because I don't know anything about boxing, but I'm like, oh, Bud Crawford, I've heard that name. Yeah, he's legit. And then I'm saying stupid things before the fight starts. I'm like, yo, he's got Eminem, definitely winning. Eminem coming out to lose yourself, definitely winning. Then they're standing in the ring before like the actual like the opening bell sounds, and the way that he was just standing there and like staring my guy down, I'm like, yo, he looks ready. He looks ready. He looks more ready than the other guy. Feeling good, feeling confident.
Eye of the tiger.
Yeah, like what does any of that mean? Who knows?
Okay, so this is always one of my favorite questions, and I want to bring Timmy Hags in on this too. Biggest fight of your life, heavyweight or middleweight belt on the line. Okay, you're focused. You got your team there. What song are you coming out to the ring to?
Ooh.
And like you could go off the board like Carly Rae Jepsen.
Mind Games.
Yeah, really.
Careless Whisper.
Yeah, that's it. Or Silence. Nothing.
That is a move.
My one that I always thought about was like a recording of pigs at a slaughterhouse and just jack it all the way up so it's like busting the speakers and stuff. People are like, what is that? Just get that bit of confusion going. Really throw the other guy off his game.
As you walk up with a pig to the ring, or
under my arm.
Wow.
It's squealing and moving around. Or go Lord of the Flies, head on a stick, and bring that motherfucker up there.
Wow. The mind games. I like it, Webby. I like it.
I have terrible taste in music, so I'm coming up with something like.
That's why I wanted to bring you.
You're gonna pick Taylor Swift for sure.
It's like Lover by Taylor Swift.
I would pick Taylor Swift over Beyonce if someone was walking up to the ring with me. So.
Not even gonna acknowledge that with a response. Not falling for that. Not gonna respond.
Not doing it.
I'd go with like old DMX or something, right? Like.
All right.
I might go
Me Dog or
Shook
something like
Ones.
that.
I might go Shook
Yeah.
Ones.
It's a good call.
But
It's a
you're
good
thinking
call.
like East Coast,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like
I think so.
aggressive.
Yeah.
I like Timmy going kind of off the board, you know, little pop music to throw it in, but no like Small Town by Jason Aldean or anything.
Oh, buddy.
Yo, can someone explain this whole thing to me? Like I keep seeing it and I'm like, I do not want to invest time into actually like reading about this because I know it's just one of these stories that's just meant to divide us because we take it seriously, even though why the hell are we taking it seriously? It's fucking music. Like who cares? It's
So-
not a big deal at all, but people are so
country
angry.
music.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I golfed with a couple of friends of the show, Siebes and Rubinoff.
Yeah.
Friends of the show.
And Rubinoff loves to listen to country music during the round.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was busting his balls. I was like, "Oh, who are you listening to? Like Jason Aldean, whatever, blah blah blah." And I was like, "This is stupid. I can't like." But you know what? After like hole 8,
Oh, no.
I was
You're
like,
in.
oh
"This is
no.
relaxing." I actually like don't mind this. And then like honestly, since that round, I've been listening to like Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen.
Let's go.
Not bad.
Wow.
I gotta say, not bad. But that song you guys are talking about, that's a messed up song, honestly.
It's really messed up, son.
Yo, it's a hard song, but it's like a slow jam. It's like a slow jam, but I'm talking shit to everybody. It's kind of weird. It's kind of wild.
But it's purposely done to like make
Yeah.
headlines, right?
Yeah.
Like
Got to make money.
isn't that obvious to everyone? Like, why are people mad about this? That's what I don't get.
Because
People
the
just like
song
being
comes
mad.
out. The song comes out, and there's so much like people freaking out about it. And you know what they're doing? They're listening to the song.
Yeah, getting plays over.
Yeah, getting streams, hate it or
Yeah.
love it.
Fair.
It's not a good song, by the way.
No, and fuck Jason Aldean.
It's not it.
I just find it hilarious. Simpler times when it was just all T Swift, right? When
Mhm.
just T Swift's album. Anyone
Let's go
listen
back
to
to the good old
Travis or
days.
no?
I put it on, but like I again, we're all very old. I put on Travis Scott's album and like 4 songs into it, I'm like, I thought he rapped. Like I thought this was like a rap album. It's like what am I listening to?
I
It's
know.
like bad late Kanye.
Well,
That's what I
that's the
thought.
debate that's going on, right? Because so many people have said this new album sounds like Yeezus,
Yeah, they said it's like
not
his Yeezus,
realizing that Yeezus is all Travis Scott.
right?
That
Mhm.
Kanye really just took over because Travis Scott wasn't Travis Scott yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
What's your review? You've done the listen?
I have not done Travis Scott, like the Lils, all the Lils, all the babies, I'm out on. Like I can't do it. It's really like a deeper conversation of music, especially hip hop music, and probably country and rock. If you ask like people into that, it's already AI music. Right? It's like, get me a beat that sounds like this. Get me, what are the key words that we need to put into? Let me
Yeah.
go to TikTok and see what the kids are saying. Put that in a bar. And here's come some like algorithm raps. Can't do it.
Now-
I
No,
blame
I sound
the
like an
new
old man.
rap I blame the new music that got me to country music. So
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's Lil
that's
Baby's
fair.
fault that you're listening to Jason Aldean.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, I listened to the
Thankful,
Travis
baby.
album. It was okay. It was fine, but it's like you said, it's like Kanye.
But that's
Now,
also
are
your
you-
boy. What's your Philly guy, Webby? Uzi?
Lil Uzi
That
Vert?
I want to rock
Ugh.
shit that people are trying to tell me is
I
good.
don't really
Like,
ride
I don't
with
get
that
that.
guy.
That's not rap, and it's also not good. I don't understand.
No, he would never make it in state prop. Like, let's put that out there. Like, I can't see Lil Uzi Vert saying "get down" or "lay down." You know what I mean? Like,
Beads would have like fucked him up a long time
yeah,
ago.
a long time ago. Now Drake's been out there like doing a lot of publicity, getting his face out there.
Mhm.
That side talk video you sent, Sheldon, was hilarious. Like, that's huge for side talk.
Mhm.
But like, are you excited about hit? Like, because he's got a new album coming out soon
Yeah,
too, right?
the Drake rollout is in full force.
Yeah.
Like, he had the interview with, what was your girl's name, Webby? You're the one that
Oh.
brought it to my
Oh,
attention.
yeah.
And now I can't
Oh,
not see
Bobby
her.
Altov.
Yeah.
Is that what her name? I don't know her. I just know her as the attractive, very like demure, sour chick. I like her. Like,
She's
she's popping up in the TikTok a lot too.
Yeah,
I
she's
like
popping
very
up a lot.
Ossington. I'll say that. She's very Ossington.
Yeah, I think that's
Very
probably why it pops
Ossington?
up.
Yes.
What does that
That's
mean?
all.
Like,
What does
you
that mean?
catch her at Get Well at like in like 2014 at like 1:30 in the morning. I know what you mean.
Thank you, Webby. Thank you very much, Webby.
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
not a Raptors fan, but she's at Doc Ellis Thursday night for the game.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a great call right there. I like what you
Is
did
it
there.
still around?
Yeah.
Doc Ellis? Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
Still there. Right beside my boy spot, Mahjong, which is outstanding spot, by the way.
Okay. Look at this.
What were we talking about? Drake's rollout. Yeah. I'm still surprised. So we're a couple days away of when OVO should be happening. His schedule is still clear. There's not been an OVO announced, so I guess it's not happening. I thought it would have been a surprise late announcement, part of the rollout for his new album, which people are anticipating to be a rap album because it's called For the Dogs, or what's it called, Timmy Heggs? I don't know what it's supposed to be called, something, but
He's got it circled on his calendar when it's coming out.
I know Timmy Heggs has it, but this reminds me because I went to the Jays game on Friday. I think I sent you guys a message in the chat that didn't really make sense because I might have been one or two rum cokes or rum punches in at the Blue Jays game.
How much you paying for those rum punches?
Let's not talk about that. But it was Caribbean Carnival night at the Blue Jays game on Friday.
Nice.
So there was a bit of a wave going on. I can't lie to you
For
guys.
sure.
They're also selling OVO Jays hats for $98.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
What are we doing here? Hags.
Yo,
Is that
Yo.
too much for you?
too much for the hat?
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's OVO prices, man. I honestly, I was gonna buy it, but then like I kind of saw the quality and stuff, and I was like, nah, I gotta save my money for postseason hats and like AL East championship hats and stuff like that. So,
Doing postseason hats for,
Like, are
for
you a
what
fan of the
team?
Baltimore
Love this.
Orioles?
Yeah.
Love this.
Hold on. Somebody was like, the trade, like MLB trade deadline was yesterday. Somebody, I forget who, I think it might have been Joey Cash, actually former coworker, who's now with the Score, was like, oh, plan the parade. And I was like, what parade are you planning for the Toronto Blue Jays? Plan the parade? And then to go out after that, and I mean, did you watch the game last? Did anybody watch?
Oh,
this
yeah.
13-3
Oh,
drubbing
yeah.
last night?
It was just sad.
They walked the guy to get to Gunnar Henderson, and like I was putting my child to bed, okay, but I had to come downstairs and get something and then bring it up. And as I walked by the TV, I had the game on. I heard Buck or Dan Schulman say they're walking Austin Hayes to get to Gunnar Henderson, and I stopped and I was like, okay, well, I got to watch this because it's not going to end well. I don't pretend to be a baseball manager, but I know this is not going to end well.
Right from the jump, it was tough. Like Ryu coming back first pitch, laced double to the gap, and you just knew that it was going to be a tough one.
they were on
be a
him
late
right
night
away.
at the Dome.
Yeah. Turns out that is like
concern level,
78
Simon,
concern level
for the Jays right now.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm not even sure. I just don't know if they're that good. Like, I hope for the city's sake that they can figure it out. But like, to go into the trade deadline and everyone kind of say like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to get some bats, and then come away with like relievers and a defensive stalwart, I don't think is necessarily going to fix what we're hoping for. So I don't know, man. Like, I hope so, but the division's ridiculous, and it's always ridiculous. And like, now they've got to figure it out with their best player for a while. Yeah,
division's ridiculous, and their offense is not ridiculous, or it's ridiculously bad. And then losing your best hitter, it's just a tough break. And the tough thing, every time I see, and I keep saying this, and I know he had a home run last night, but I cannot take them seriously as long as Brandon Belt continues to be in the heart of their lineup. I just can't take them. Like, what is happening right now? If I'm George Springer, I don't care about lefty, righty, and their computers and all this crap. Like, if I'm George Springer, I can be in an 0 for 90 slump. I cannot be hitting behind Brandon Belt in the year 2023. That can't be a thing that's actually happening. But lefty, righty, we got to split them up, blah, 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 all that crap. It's just a tough year for the Jays because in theory, and I'm sure I didn't see the Ross Atkins presser, but I'm going to assume that one of them, if not Ross Atkins or Schneider, said, well, we got Ryu and it's trade deadline, so I'm pretty sure that's like adding a new starter to the rotation.
Love that. Right? Love when my GM
I don't know if that was said, but I'm gonna guess that somewhere someone in a Blue Jays uniform made that correlation, right? But you need more bats. And the depressing part was that the answer supposedly was Teoscar Hernandez, and that didn't really make sense to me either, because it's just like, what are we doing here? It's just a frustrating season because you see the potential and they've thrown away so many games, and then they get into the big boy games and they just no show. So it's like,
I was saying to someone, like, it's kind of like the Raptors season last year where like you go into the year and you're thinking like, okay, cool, there's something there. Like, surely we can kind of string together some wins. And then the whole, like, as soon as the season started, something just seemed off, like, immediately. And every game you watch is like a slog to get through, and you're just not, like, I don't know, the vibes are low with the Jays, much like how the vibes were low with the Raptors.
Vibes are off in Toronto. Luckily for us. Go on.
Thing with the Jays, though, I mean, like, what's nice is that there's breathing. Like, I mean, they could totally fall into the toilet and get leapfrogged by the Angels, but there's 3 games between those two teams. Mm-hmm. And we've seen it in baseball a bunch of times where teams that squeak in and get that last, wild card spot, they can make some noise. So if Bichette's knee isn't too bad and Manoah can write things out towards the end of the season, who's to say that that's not a team that can make some noise? So it's almost like you don't want them to peak, and like everybody keeps waiting for them to peak. You want them to, I haven't begun to peak. When I peak, you will know it. And you want that to be like, end of August, beginning of September.
Well, 2 things. One, I think that the way that the Jays lineup is set up, it's just not good enough. But the flip side of that is, if Baltimore was just a flop in the playoffs, would we be surprised? Because it's a super young team, inexperienced. If they flop, that's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the Angels. I'd be worried about the Red Sox. I don't know how the Red Sox have turned their season around, but I know the Jays and Red Sox have a bunch of games still to play this season. And that might be the bigger problem for the Jays down the stretch, but the AL East is just a problem altogether. And talking about Toronto, weird times, because I don't know what's going on with the Raps. But luckily for us, though.
Garrett Temple.
Let's go.
They now have like 4 vets who are good in the locker room.
Love it. Perfect.
It's awesome. You win a lot of games that way. Is Thaddeus Young still left-handed?
Oh,
always catches guys off guard with that left hand.
Remember when we were like signing like actual guys, and now like the news is like I haven't heard of any of these guys that we're signing. Oh, this guy do a 2-way contract, and it's just like, what is happening with this team?
I have no idea.
Darko, man.
And it's like the one thing about the coach, and the thing that's having me hold out hope, is that I don't know anything about this new coach. and nobody
Yeah.
does. So we have
Is he
no idea how that's
Lithuanian,
going to go.
Douglas?
No, I don't think he is.
Is he Latvian?
Not that I'm an expert on Lithuanians. He's not Latvian. That I can guarantee you.
I just see the Darko, I think, maybe. I don't know.
I just like the Raptors are just depressing me right now. I don't know what's happening. I don't get why, the Pascal stuff's just been weird because who knows what we're going to make of that. Simon, I know you're a big ball guy, so I know we haven't really talked about the Raps in a while, but since you're here, I know you're a ball guy. What do you make of what's gone on with the Toronto Raptors this off season?
I mean, I think you nailed it. Like the thing that's been the toughest for me is like I just don't know what the plan is, and like that's been the case for the last 6 or 8 months. Like for the longest time, you knew like, oh, okay, well the Raptors, they're gonna do this thing where like they don't have bigs, they're all long, they switch, blah blah blah, and like 2 seasons ago that seemed to work. That caught people off guard. The defense was swarming, yada yada yada. Now it's just like I don't know what the plan is, and especially with the whole like not trading Van Vliet at the deadline, losing him for nothing, trading a first round pick for Pirtle to like then give him huge money. Like I just don't know. So you went from like we don't need a center to we're gonna give a first round pick for a center to we're gonna pay a ton for center. Now we're like we were a young team and now we're signing super vet Garrett Temple to a deal. Like I just don't understand what's going on. And like as a fan, that always kind of sucks when you don't know what the plan is or what we're even trying to do, Yeah.
It's like they overvalued, and much like I did here on this pod, they overvalued thinking that Fred was going to come back. Like they were totally, so convinced 100%. Of that. And then when he leaves, it's like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't be running this back. Yeah. We should be trading everybody, which they can't do now because there's no leverage. And it's just, which way is everything going? I have no idea. But the one thing you reminded me of is I totally forgot when we talked about the Fred VanVleet thing, my own like conspiracy theory, I forgot to even mention on our podcast. Like how insane is that? But I really think that what happened with Fred was, if you go all the way back to when Nick Nurse is still here, right? The rumors were that the Raptors were going to bring in Ime Udoka.
Yeah,
I fully believe that was going to be a thing. And I'm prefacing this by saying, I don't know this. I have no sources on this. This is just me talking out of my ass. But I think that they were going to bring in Ime Udoka, but they weren't allowed to. MLSE wouldn't let them bring in Ime Udoka because of bad PR. They know what the media was going to do. The media circus would have just been a gong show for a day, and they don't want all of that negative gong show, especially if you go back to what happened with the Toronto Raptors on International Women's Day, which we'll just say and then let that kind of pass. But anyways, I believe they wanted Ime Udoka. But in that process now, so Nick Nurse leaves, they want to bring in Udoka. Udoka's meeting with Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet's probably in on those conversations like, oh, we're going to bring in Udoka? That would be good, blah, blah, blah. They're not allowed to bring him in. Because remember how weird those rumors were that he's the front runner. That's who the Raptors are going to get. And then the next day it's like, oh no, he's going to Houston. How did that happen? That makes no sense. But I think the connection was still made there between Fred and Ime. And that was the deciding factor. And Ime being like, screw James Harden. We need to bring in Fred VanVleet. Right. And then Fred being like, well, I don't know what's going on in Toronto. And who is this Darko guy that's going to be our head coach? And Scotty Barnes, we clearly know, as we saw in his interview, who was it that Fred did the interview with recently? The Pivot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like you could tell Fred was not messing with Scotty Barnes. You could just tell the vibes, as Simon said earlier, the vibes were off. Right? So he goes and he meets with Ime, and that's how that all happened. I feel like all of those things are linked and we'll never really know. But I think that's what kind of happened and screwed us. Ime was supposed to come here. And then when that didn't happen, him and Fred were still wanted to link up, and that's how we got that story. And Freddie is $43 million richer. And now I'm depressed about the Raptors season all over again.
Guys, it could be worse. Man. It really could be worse. Your team could be playing a game of chicken with James Harden. Where James Harden would much rather eat the chicken and the burgers and the French fries. we're playing chicken with.
Do you
with
want
James Harden.
Harden back? Like, what's the deal as a Sixers fan?
I don't really want anybody back. I'm so like I'm ready to see what we can get for Embiid. Like, what are the Knicks ready to give up? I guess Brunson would be off the table.
Hold
but
on
like,
though.
yeah, I'm like pretty much done. Like, this is going into year what, like 5 of this. Okay, like we've got, regardless of what you think of Embiid, a top 5 player in the league, a guy who can single-handedly put you into the playoffs and should get you deep in a weaker conference. And we can't do it.
Wait. You said if you guys got Brunson, you would take
No,
an
I
Embiid
mean,
trade?
again,
I was like, what?
I just wanted to, again, wild swing of the pendulum. I'm just using that as a
Webby hot takes. We discussed this. We went over this in
as
the
an
opening.
example.
Webster
Well,
hot takes.
Like, how many, like 6 first-round picks can we get from the Knicks? Like, a Knicks first-round pick would be nice.
Morey would step down first. Morey, the real thing that screwed you guys is Daryl Morey and his obsession with superstars and James Harden.
Yeah.
I honestly think that if you guys traded James Harden for Norm Powell, Terrence Mann,
But they won't put Mann in the deal. Like, that's the thing. Like, this deal could have been done, but the
because they
Clippers
know they don't
wanna-
have to, which is why like they're also like.
And
this
it's
is
also
all-
like Daryl had that win by holding on to Ben Simmons
Yeah.
as long as possible to get James Harden. Then he now thinks that I think he now thinks that he can do that with Harden, with similar results. And I just don't think that's really going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless like I'm Pascal for Harden or DeRozan.
Stop trying
for
to
Harden.
give the Raptors James Harden. Stop this. This is like 8 pods in a row.
It's
Webby's
my
trying to
number
sell
one
this
goal.
idea.
It's my number one goal is to speak that deal into existence. Is to speak it into existence, because there's nothing I'd want more than the Raptors fans to talk themselves in to James Harden.
When
And
James
that's the
Harden
thing about
was in
Harden,
Houston, I wanted Harden. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I probably
Every
have
fan
some
base
tweets
talks himself
there.
in.
Threes and getting to the line, it wins.
So I'm so interested. Like, the whole just Daryl Morey in general is like, in a decade, is like, what are we gonna think of as Daryl Morey as? Like, is he like a great GM? I'm just like, I know that like obviously that particular Harden era of the Rockets was awesome, and they were so good, and they, if Chris Paul doesn't get injured, maybe they beat the Warriors, yada yada yada.
I wouldn't necessarily call it like awesome, like
No,
fun
I
to
just mean
watch,
like in terms of like,
winning
we won
basketball
MVPs, we won games, yada yada yada. Like, I guess that's the goal for a guy like Morey who wants just a superstar, I guess. But like, I wouldn't view his career as a super successful career currently.
Right.
And yet people are still like, oh man, Daryl Morey, like the genius, the mad
He's
scientist.
wily, yeah.
It's funny that he's forever linked with Mike D'Antoni, because I feel like it might turn out like the 7 seconds or less Suns, where it's like the whole Daryl Morey, okay, we shoot threes and free throws. Like, that's a Houston Rockets thing that changed the league, that changed the way that a lot of modern basketball is played now, for better or worse, right? You'll find people that like it, a lot of people that dislike it, but I mean, ratings are up, fans, the kids like it, of course. I don't know, as a basketball purist, whatever that means. I hate saying that because it sounds like such a loser thing for me to say. But like, it's strange, right? Because I don't like you have players taking 10 threes in a game. Like, that's insane. Whether you're James Harden or Dame Lillard or Steph, like, that's an insane amount of threes to just be jacking up in a game. But I think that's the lasting legacy of Daryl Morey. He changed how basketball is played and turned it into a math game, and hasn't really been successful in terms of championships, but regular season success has been there.
Yeah, and just a different way. Like, I think he'll always be seen as like an innovator because of what you're saying, and like the different way that he looked at building a roster, but also like, using math, but also kind of being obsessed with like having the superstars, like having the names on the team. So I don't know, but just trade Harden for Pascal Siakam. Let's go.
Stop this, man. Stop this. We're trying to bring up good vibes here in Toronto.
You want to talk about a vibe
Raptors.
killer? That would be a vibe.
Yeah.
You think the vibes are bad now?
Yeah. It's not
Wait
with
till
the
Grady
Raptors.
Dick and Harden.
Oh,
Grady's
start
just
going
standing
out
in
on
the
the
corner
town.
as Harden pounds the rock for 23 seconds.
do you have a Grady take, Simon?
I don't know, man. Like, sure, yeah.
I thought he'd be your kind of guy. I thought he'd be your.
Hold on, what does that mean?
He seems fun, I guess. I don't know, man. I want another like much like boxing. I love March Madness because all of a sudden we're all experts in like random college teams. So like I don't know. I saw probably like a half of Kansas basketball, and like Grady shot it in that. So sure,
that's why we all love Marquise Noel.
Right? Yeah, exactly, right. Man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's because I looked up his YouTube highlights because I read his name in an article, and I was like, "This is the guy. This guy rocks."
I mean, my thing on Grady Dick is like we're talking about bad vibes. He at least seems like he's like a likable dude. So sure,
to start,
let's go for that. I mean, can he actually play? Who knows?
Tune in to find
out. We're going to find out because he's going to get PT. I'll tell you that. He's going to be on the court.
Tough times in Toronto for everyone not named Mitch Marner. As we talked about this last week, and Tones was crushing me for, bringing up athlete weddings and does this actually matter?
Content.
Summer wedding content. Tones was getting on my case about this. But you're telling me that this doesn't bring a smile to your face? Seeing all the fun videos, seeing all the pictures, seeing, yes, Austin was at Mitch's wedding. Yes, that means this is all great. What's Timmy Heggs got here? Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Tell me this isn't good times, a little
gritty out. I did like the fake pull of the hamstring. That's always a classic move.
So here's my question. Simon is married. Timmy Heggs is almost married. Mr. Webster is also married. Please rate.
For now.
please, two questions. One, please rate Mitch Marner's gritty here. And then two, what would your wife's reaction be if you did said gritty as your wedding intro?
Divorce.
There would be no wedding.
Yeah, immediate annulment would have happened in my case for sure. Yeah.
Strike him from the record.
Just would have, that would have been tough. I would be looking for a new apartment. Rate the gritty. Here's the thing about the gritty. Very rarely do I think they look good. And like I am the number one guy to be like, yeah, that's a bad one. But also I know for a fact that if I tried it, I would look absolutely absurd. I mean, I'm a 6'4" ginger dude, and I do not think that I can pull off a gritty in any way, shape, or form. So you know what? The commitment was there. Mm-hmm. Good on you, Mitch. Why not?
I think to do the gritty, you should have to show your LSU student card.
There you go. Ooh. I like this.
And then if you don't have that, you can't gritty. But as somebody who's gritty many times, I understand the draw. Like the easier the dance is to do, like the more the 6'2" bigger white guy can do it, the more I'm having fun with it.
What was the occasion?
Oh, I'll tell you what the occasion.
How drunk were you?
Yeah, random Saturday night.
No, it was so it was when I was working for the Flames a couple years ago, and we sold a bunch of season tickets or whatever, so they were loving us, and so they gave us like club seats for a Battle of Edmonton game. With like the full like, hey, we're gonna get you guys dinner, drinks or on the house like at the game. And so my buddy was like, I'll host a pregame. And then another girl that we worked with, one of her clients was like a limo and bus rental place. So she was like, we'll get the party bus going. And there was only like 5 people on our team, but we got fucking faced at my buddies, and just all of us like grittying on this bus as it's like doing big corners. We're all flying around the bus. So I felt it was a really like legit reason to gritty and like an air of celebration almost. But yeah, I'm not one of these guys who like, I'm gonna throw out the garbage outside, let me gritty out there while I throw my recycling away or anything. I think you have to be in the right moment. That's why it's a touchdown dance.
I can't lie. I pictured you trying to teach your daughter to gritty.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Guys, her 3rd birthday is coming up, and her present just came in the mail. Okay,
James Harden jersey.
Better. Mitchell and Ness youth Brian Dawkins t-shirt jersey, midnight black. I was on the group text with my buddies back in Philly, and I was like, she is just going to be fucking blindsiding other kids at daycare.
Let's go.
Oh, bro. Weapon. She's going to be throwing up the Weapon X all the time. I've never been more excited to give a gift to anybody in my life than to my 3-year-old daughter, giving her this Eagles
and
shirt.
What is your wife's reaction to your excitement about this?
Oh, she's pumped too. She's like, perfect size. That's what she said to me when it showed up. So I'm good. It's the perfect size.
Well, hopefully young Ivy can grow up and help out our Canadian women's national team.
We're going to next summer. Next summer is soccer. So
that's soccer.
Okay. So we'll get her in there. Yeah. Cause they could use her.
I want to talk to you guys about this World Cup failure. Have you guys watched the World Cup? Do you care about the Women's World Cup?
I do care
about the Women's World Cup.
It's on at fucking 3:00 in the morning here.
Yeah, I care, but the whole Australia-New Zealand time difference thing is tough. Like there was that one game where Canada played at like 10 or whatever. That first game of the group stage.
That was great.
Great timing. I mean, an awful game, but great timing. And then the rest, it's just been like so hard to actually like get locked in because like I'm not going to get up at like 3 or whatever to watch this.
Because the patriarchy lives, brother.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. You would get up if you loved women, but I guess you just want you to make them a sandwich. I will tell you the cool thing about the Women's World Cup is one of the things that's been popping up in I hate to bring it back to this, what I've been watching on TikTok, but this is one of the better accounts since the Women's World Cup started, is all of the relationships, dating and now broken up, of players in the Women's World Cup cross teams. So I saw this like 4-minute video of Arsenal's women's team has like, or I guess at the beginning of the 2021 season had 4 different couples on the team. In the 2 years since, they've broken up, started hooking up with other girls on other teams, and now they're all at the World Cup. Some of the broken up couples playing for the same country. Mm-hmm. Some of the still together couples playing for different countries. It's incredible. Incredible. It's the only like rooting interest that I have in that. It's like, oh shit, Netherlands beat England. That means Christiana Van de Velde has a little one up on her ex-girlfriend there, Bonnie Smith, over on England. It's fantastic.
Bonnie Smith.
I don't know. Just making up the names. I'm making up the names. Because
you had me for a split second there. I was like, Bonnie Smith, definitely made up name. But good call. Good call.
Christina Van de Velde, though, sounded Dutch.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, yeah. You got
throw a van in there and you're good.
You're good.
And you're really cooking.
Speaking of like, I mean, he didn't get to break up with her, but he shot his shot. Your boy Travis Kelce. Have we seen the story? Well, I mean, he told us a story on his podcast that he does.
Travis Kelce is down bad.
He tried to, I guess, make a friendship bracelet for Taylor Swift. Is that how the story goes?
Sus. Cringe. Sus.
Travis Kelce attempted to give his number to Taylor Swift via a friendship bracelet, but got denied. Kelce entailed his master plan to shoot a shot during Taylor's Eras tour stop at Arrowhead Stadium on his New Heights podcast, saying that he made friendship bracelets with his phone number on them in hopes of giving one to the recently single singer. But he explained that he was bummed out to find out that Taylor doesn't meet with anyone prior to taking the stage in an effort to preserve her voice. First off, do we believe that story? I don't meet with anyone before the show to save my voice.
No, yeah,
don't believe that shit.
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you who would never do this. And that's
Dallas
Jason
Goddard.
Kelce. That's Jason Kelce. Would never do this. Jason Kelce, far more integrity than his brother Travis. Far more.
Travis Kelce's gone from like having his own reality dating show to like trying to
had his own
reality.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
It's like called Catching Kelsey or something like that.
Yeah.
Get
now,
out.
Yeah, to now he's making friendship bracelets and really trying to like slide in there. Travis.
Tough.
Come on.
Also, like Taylor Swift, like really?
I know, right? Like
Travis Kelce.
It gives big Vladimir Klitschko, Hayden Panettiere vibes.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice
That's a
deep
pull.
cut there.
Yeah.
I'm
just saying
the big bucks.
I'm not knocking Taylor Swift. I'm just saying, as Travis Kelce, I feel like, you should be shooting your, like, there's better aim, better places to aim your shots if you're Travis Kelce.
You're the hottest bachelor in the state of Missouri. Come on.
It's called the Show Me State. I want to bring Timmy Hags on here as our T Swift fan.
What's up?
I got a question. Is Taylor Swift hot?
You know what?
She's pretty and
She
she's
is
cool.
Yeah.
But is she hot?
I think her music is hotter than she is hot, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Wow.
It does kind of make sense. Yeah.
And I think because she has good music and she's talented, I think it just adds to like the mystique of Taylor Swift. If Taylor Swift was just like, I don't know, an actor or an actress or whatever,
or just walking down Queen West.
Yeah, she'd be an Ossington girl or whatever you call it.
Wear hats.
Gives me more Beaches vibes, but
Beaches vibes. Okay,
more Beaches vibes, but okay.
fair.
Is that the Undertaker's hat you're wearing, Taylor? But like Beyonce's hot. Like you see Beyonce and be like, God
like
damn.
Margot Robbie is hot.
It's
Going
hot.
back to last week's Margot Robbie is
she's mid.
Twitter debacle.
Oh yeah, that was
Margot Robbie's mid.
Mid. Down there with
Timmy's
Eminem.
trolling right now.
No.
Have you seen the movie Focus by any chance? You've not seen Focus.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
No, Timmy Higgs, come back on screen now. That question was aimed
Ducking out. I'm out.
Have you seen the movie Focus? Clearly, you have not seen the movie Focus.
I haven't.
Okay.
Should I watch that today or?
Has anyone seen the movie Focus on here?
I know it. I've just never gotten around to seeing it.
I will say this: anyone who has seen the movie Focus will not have the take that Margot Robbie is mid.
Any movie with Margot Robbie in it that you've seen will come with the realization that Margot Robbie is not mid.
Fair. Totally fair. But like Margot Robbie, and trust me, there's a lot of different things we could talk about. Will Smith's and Jada Pinkett Smith's marriage. A lot of different things we could talk about there. But like that leaked, right? That Margot Robbie and Will Smith were, the assumption was that they were hooking up when they were filming, I think, Suicide Squad, because they did like 2 movies in a row. I want to say it was Focus and then Suicide Squad. Yeah. But if you Google it, like there are pictures, because this was this whole like tabloid thing, but that's when you realize the Hollywood machine and how they can shut down stories. But essentially what happened was it was like a rap party, and they took, you have those photo booths that you go in and it takes like 3 pictures or whatever. They went in the photo booth and people were saying like, oh, they looked very cozy. Like, like shit was going down, but they were so hammered that they left the pictures in the photo booth. So those leaked online. Like you can Google that and see those pictures. Like it's up for public person. Like it's there, they're out there. But yeah, the story was that people assumed that they were hooking up while filming that movie. And again, I will say, if you've seen the movie Focus, I can see why. I can see why. Like if you're Will Smith, you can tell me that that's acting and you could say, hey, you're a great actor and blah, blah, blah. But listen, man,
looking at the cast, it looks like Margot Robbie isn't even like the hottest actress in this movie.
Suicide Squad?
Taylor Swift's in it.
No, Focus. This Focus movie you're talking about.
Focus. I mean, it's about F1. Just watch it. It's a good movie too. I thought it was a good movie.
Or it's about con artists, isn't it?
It's about con artists, but it like features. There's a storyline featuring like F1, like a whole F1 storyline as well. But it's about con artists. Yes.
I got a text from you, Shelly, in the group text last night. Did you go see Oppenheimer?
I did. I think because I want to hear what Tones has to say about that movie. So I liked
We'll hold it.
We'll hold it. I liked it.
Simon,
I
did
thought
you
it was
see it?
really good.
No, I've seen Barbie.
You saw Barbie?
Oh yeah.
Did you? So, and this is no spoiler, even if Sheldon answers in the affirmative. Did you see the cameo I was talking to Tones about
In Oppenheimer?
in Oppenheimer?
Yeah. No, I saw that before I saw the movie. I don't even know how Tones didn't see that online. Like I thought, and Hags, I mean, it's been out for what, 2-3 weeks now?
Yeah, I mean, you guys spoiled it in the group chat, so it's all good.
Oh yeah.
Tones spoiled it in the group chat, not you.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
you're
on.
right.
Yeah,
Tones
really.
spoiled it in the group chat.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, Sean Avery being in the movie is like, that is completely random. But I wondered because I saw it on
Simon,
Twitter before I saw it in the
I was
movie.
so smacked.
But I don't
in this
know
movie.
if
And Sean Avery's face comes on the screen, and I was dying. At fucking Sean Avery? Sloppy seconds?
It was pretty random. And I don't know if I would have known that was Sean Avery without looking for Sean Avery in the movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not checking for Sean Avery.
I was impressed that I could even recognize him. Usually I can't really recognize hockey players, but like something about Sean Avery's dumb face. I was like, what a gent to get in your movie.
So I couldn't let this pod go by with having Simon on and not bringing up one of our mutual loves, which is Vanderpump Rules. It's been, we've had some time. We're starting to see like there's footage leaking of, the cast shooting and they're having problems.
She's coming
getting
back,
the cast
isn't
together. But Simon, I'm gonna give you the ball. We're gonna do the whole was it Kobe and LeBron when Kobe and LeBron are doing the interview and LeBron's laughing at him because he's like, oh, you guys used to have this signal where you just put up your hand as if that means anything, as if we don't know, just ISO. So I'm gonna give you the ball. I'm gonna give you the signal, just ISO. Vanderpump Rules. Give me your Scandival, everything.
Okay, so I mean, I'm a huge Vanderpump guy, through and through. It was my entry point into the Bravo cinematic universe.
See you.
Yeah, I'm so in. I was worried going into this season that like, man, the people are getting old. Like a lot of them have kids. Like, this show might be over. I am just so excited and happy that we are back. We out here and we are back. What a season of television that was, through and through, all of it. I'm happy that James Kennedy is fully back to being a deranged human being on television. I'm excited that there are rumors that Jax is coming back. Give me Jax content. I'm sure Kristen Doty's into crystals now. Okay, whatever, cool. I'm just happy that the gang's coming back. In terms of all this stuff like filming for next season, like it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a mess through and through. I can't wait. It's all great. The more people on reality television who don't like each other, the better.
Are you worried expectations are too high? It's literally like, can you go back to back? Like
that's a good
they've
question.
won the championship. Like we're talking a big win. Are we setting the bar too high for the next VPR season? Because the other thing that I love about the Vanderpump Rules is that these people are the dumbest, which I love.
Yeah.
And the most and least self-aware people that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So do you think that the cast as a collective is like, listen, we got all the rave reviews. People are loving what we're doing. Is it going to be inorganic? Are you worried about this at all? Or do you think that they just pick up where they left off and it is, once again, fantastic television?
I mean, I'm worried about it now that you bring it up. I never thought of it, but now I am. No, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I want them all to continue to make horrible decisions. That's all I ask for, And like with some of them, like the fact that Sandoval is who he is, Lord knows that he will make some awful decisions and continue to just be an absolute joy to watch on television.
Yeah. Is Raquel back?
Yeah, I think she's back, isn't she?
It's Rachel now.
Yeah.
They let her out of the loony bin, put her right back on TV. Let's go.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it'll be fine because she just gave the blueprint to the next failed Hollywood,
beauty
actress, model turned bartender of like, this is the way to go. Get on the show, try to hook up with Tom, the other Tom, not Sandoval. What's his name? Schwartz, right? She's dumb enough to fall for that, right? Just like, and boom, reality TV star. There's a way where you can work out and become more Lala than Rachel, I think. Right? Like Lala's liked. I feel like people like Lala, despite the fact that her entryway into the show was very similar. We'll say similar to Raquel's, right? And even James's new girlfriend, that cut, because this is one of the things that we were talking about before.
I don't think that relationship's got the legs.
No. But the way that they edit together the show is so perfect. Like how they were showing James's new girlfriend, and she's going on this tangent about like girls just coming to try to get on the show, and they meet James and they just want to meet James, and that's their whole purpose. And then it's like a smash cut to, so how did you and James meet? And she's like, oh, I went to a show.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what are we doing here? But that's what this whole thing is. And so I think Hollywood, it's just an endless cycle of came here for school, graduated to the high life. Good put. J-Line, anyone? No? Jay-Z too old now? Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you have a baby line you can drop there? I can relate to it.
My point is that there will be another Raquel waiting in the wings this season. And Sandoval is going to be trying to get his redemption. So he's going to be doing too much. Yeah. And that's going to be great.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Raquel is still on the show,
does James Kennedy get punched in the face this season?
I think so, especially if he's still trying to throw drinks at people, which he was doing last year.
That is a go-to move.
Mm-hmm.
That's a BCU staple. Yeah, is the drink throw.
I just remember, I remember going back in time. I remember when the trailer for this season of Vanderpump came out, and like James is like, "Oh yeah, so I'm drinking again," and I was just like, "Oh, we're locked in." Good stuff.
Oh yes, let's
go. How many shows could have like 4 reunion episodes, and it's like.
Also, and it's like the biggest deal. It's like a finals game. Like
Andy Cohen is like the greatest reunion 100%. Host of all time. Like I am a reality TV guy at this point. I've just leaned all in, and so like I'm watching Love Is Blind. And let me tell you, when the Lachey's are hosting the Love Is Blind reunion, it's like compared to Andy Cohen. I mean, nightmare. Andy Cohen is a master at work here.
Hold on, is there a new season of Love Is Blind?
Lachey's wife might be the craziest person I've ever seen on recorded media. Love Is Blind, bro. We need to just.
It's good.
Like Hags, when are we doing the Love Is Blind pod?
Is it back?
Oh, I'm ready whenever you guys are ready.
There's not a new season out currently, but it will be back.
I was flustered for a second. I was like, wait, how did I miss this? There's a new season. What have I been doing? It's not like there's NBA on.
You never know what it's like. I'll just fire up Netflix and it'll be there, and I'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah, now streaming. You're just like, okay, cool. Locked in.
Did you watch the lesbian ultimatum?
Ultimatum? No,
started it. It's
fucking
good.
Real good.
Really good.
Really good.
Yeah. It's really good.
I hear you're a fan of Below Deck.
Me?
Yes.
I mean, I'm in, yeah.
Are you Below Deck? I'm Below Deck Down Under right now.
So I've just stuck to the original and dipped my toe into Med.
I just started Below Deck Down Under this season because it just started when my sailing yacht ended.
Which I've heard I've heard Sailing Yacht is great.
You got to get on. There's this guy, Gary, on Sailing Yacht, okay? And the way that James Kennedy was like, fuck, I'm drinking again this season.
Yeah.
And you were like fired up. Gary was like, I'm single again this season. And I was like, all right, let's go. Let's go. If you've got a hole on this boat, Gary gonna fill it. Okay,
Well,
doesn't matter which way it's going.
Here's what I'll say. Love Island UK just wrapped on Monday, and I'm a big Love Island UK fan. That show is on 7 nights a week. So let me just say that 7 hours of my week have opened up. So, I can start consuming. I can be in on all the below decks.
How is it possible?
Day.
How can it be on every day? That's the part I don't get.
Yeah, it's
every day.
But it's worth it in the end. When you see Sammy and Jess win, you're just, it's worth it in the end.
The James Harden of TV, just putting up shots every day. Too many
Kurt
shots.
Goldberry chart is like, oh my God. There's a lot of green here.
Love Island. So Love Island UK is definitely better than the American one, right?
Oh, I mean, that's the only one that I watch, honestly. I want because for me, it's a combo. It's the slang is so weird. It's all of a sudden you have like a guy from Liverpool chatting with a girl from Essex. In comes a Scottish girl. Like the accents are just out of control. Yeah, it's 10 out of 10. It's great.
There's something that this guy loves, and it's a heavy Scottish accent on a very attractive girl.
It's outstanding.
It is. There's very few things that I like more.
Yeah, it's outstanding.
So Simon, I'm gonna put you on the spot here to close us out.
Oh God.
We like to do top 5 lists on this pod. Top 5 reality shows.
Okay.
Your top 5.
All time or current?
I'm going to let you decide and take that in whatever direction you would like to take that in. Could be top 5 shows that you just recently watched this year. It could be whatever you like. Top 5 reality shows. I
mean, the big 3 are
No. Hold on. We're going in order from 5 to 1.
Oh, from 5 to 1. Okay, damn. And we're starting at the lowest. We're
starting at the lowest. Starting at the lowest. Timmy Heggs is jumping in here. I feel like he's got his top 5 ready.
I'm here. I gotta write them down.
I'll take the top 3, man. What's the big 3?
Okay.
My big 3?
Put your big 3 in order.
My big 3 are number 3 is Big Brother, number 2 is Vanderpump Rules, number 1 is Love Island UK for sure.
Wow, Big Brother, hey?
Big Brother,
love Big Brother,
around.
And it's
love
Big Brother.
Yeah,
Big Brother Canada.
Well, you know what? Timmy Heggs actually got me onto a Big Brother Canada season. That was spicy.
Was that the one with the Toronto Mans?
Yeah.
No, it was the one before.
Zine guy.
That was a good one.
Is Big Brother on right now? Has it started yet?
I think it starts tonight.
I think Julie Chen is back tonight. Yeah.
Julie Chen.
And the challenge starts like next week.
Julie Moonves.
Yeah.
See, okay.
Shelly,
I like that list.
What's your top 3? What's your big 3?
I know what Shelly's number 1 is.
So the challenge has to be number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
The challenge has to be number 1, right? Just because, it'll always hold a special place in my heart. So if I'm going in reverse order, if I'm going number 5, I guess out of respect, I got to give the number 5 spot to Big Brother. Just because there was a time where I was like all in on Big Brother. It was the thing that took over my summer. Loved it. So I'll go number 5, Big Brother. Number 4, I'm gonna go hard with Jersey Shore, just because that was a moment in time. Can't deny what Jersey Shore was when it came into the airspace. Number 3. Number 3. I feel like I gotta put The Real World there, just because The Real World is an OG.
Yeah, we're going OG.
The Real World, like when The Real World and Challenge was clicking. Right. And you had those years where we would just go from an episode or a season of The Real World, and then you'd have 2 of those people would join the next season of the challenge, and they were just clicking. That was just a moment in time. That was great. MTV at its prime. Beautiful. And then, number 2. What did I just say? Number 2 was Vanderpump Rules. I'm going to put it number 2. And Vanderpump Rules, the reason why I'm putting it at number 2 is because it really came out of nowhere. I only watch Vanderpump Rules because of an old podcast that Juliette Littman and David Jacoby used to do on Grantland, where they would talk about reality TV, and they kept talking about these crazy casts of characters. And I'm like, what? This show doesn't make any sense. They're just like a waitressing staff. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And yeah, I've been sucked in ever since. Vanderpump Rules is just such insanity. And when it was clicking, Stassi might be the top.
Ooh, yeah.
She's got to be like top 3 reality TV characters of all time.
I feel like Webby has his top 5 or top 3.
I'll go quick. They're kind of jumbled around in my head, but let me see if I can get them down. So number 5, I'm going to go Survivor.
Okay.
We're talking about, I'm telling you, in terms of competition, and again, where it leads to get to be one of my higher picks, it's got to be there. It's been going long. It's been going strong. Survivor's got to be there. Okay. Number 4, we're going to do Below Deck. Okay. Below Deck was my introduction to the BCU, which is now what I'm calling it from now on. Okay.
So good.
Fantastic. I love it. Different boats, different chief stews, different captains. We can go Mediterranean, we can go down under, we can go anywhere.
Are you more Captain Sandy or Captain
Lee?
What's my guy's name? Captain Lee.
Come on, Captain Sandy. Let's
just check
Captain Lee. Get Captain Lee's old ass out of here. Number 3, I'm gonna go VPR. Just because it is like fucking LeBron James. I mean, it's heavy in the streets for a reason. It's great. I love it. And I've never been really more excited about a new reality season coming up than this one. Okay. That's number 3. Number 2 is The Challenge. Okay. And it goes, I got to put it in. It's really 1A, 1B. It's Real World and then The Challenge. Okay.
Okay. That's fair.
And Shelly's absolutely right. You would watch these seasons, like later seasons of The Real World, when it was still doing its thing in the like kind of format that we were all used to, and then rolling that into The Challenge. I remember Hurricane Naya scouting her like she was Cam Newton at Auburn, having one of just the all-time Pantheon seasons and being like, we got to get this girl on The Challenge because she is going to wreck it. And the Real World and The Challenge had this sweet like period of time, that it was like 4 or 5 years that it was unreal. And they are the best. And I've been a Real World fan since season 2. Like I was watching that at a far too young of an age to be watching Real World. And I watched it all the way up until like the last season that they had. It is my GOAT because it is reality TV just at its most simple level. Put 7 strangers in a house and let them and give them alcohol and let's go.
Like peak Real World. Like if we went back like a decade or 20 years or so, like Real World is the GOAT for sure. But The Challenge, because of my love of sports and how it blends so perfectly the worlds of sports and reality television, that's why The Challenge is number 1. And it sucks that it's sort of tailed off and now it's on CBS. But like Prime Challenge, there's nothing better on TV than the Prime Challenge, where you could see someone get knocked out, then they party together, then they get knocked out again at the house, and then they like go sleep with that guy's girlfriend. Like it was just
that's an all-time threading of the needle right there, by the way. The Challenge, like they managed to do it. They figured out how to meld 2 worlds perfectly.
When CT hooked up with that girl on the roof, and then the next day she fell and popped her fake breast implant, it was like it touched the sun. That was when television touched the sun. That was it.
I think that's it for this pod, man.
That's all I got. I gotta go.